Alright, what's up Internet? In today's video, I want to go over the topic of getting up off the ground. Now, this is an extremely deep topic, and there are so many examples, and there are literally tons of options on how to get off the ground from each different position. And it would take me forever to cover all of those, and I would need to edit this video heavily to do that. So instead of showing you all the examples, I want to give you just some tips on what type of mindset you should have when you get knocked down in this game. Now, quickly before we get into the meat of the wake-ups of this video, I want to go over Tech Roll. Tech Roll is available to you off of most knockdowns in the game. It looks like that, and you pretty much have a window to do it when you hit the ground. Now, to Tech Roll into the foreground, you use kicks, and to Tech Roll into the background, you use punches. And it is generally the safest way to get off the ground. You should use it when you have it available to you. It is invulnerable until you are standing, and at that point, you only have to worry about a mix-up. The only time you have to worry about a Tech Roll mix-up, a Tech Roll catch situation where Tech Rolling is actually unsafe, is during canned setup situations. So basically, Tech Roll is safe unless your opponent is baiting you into Tech Rolling, and then he's going to use something that will Tech Roll catch. Those cases, you pretty much have to learn those commands and those setups, because there's really no way, there's no way to know unless you know. And those are very, very rare, so you shouldn't worry about them too much. Generally, just when it's available to you, Tech Roll is a very good option. Now moving on to just getting knocked down, when I guess hard knockdowns. There are a lot of moves in the game that knock you down that do not allow you to Tech Roll. Clothesline for Armor King is one of them, his homing move is another one, and there are just countless other moves. So when you get knocked down in this game, and you are in the downed position, there are basically 4 down positions. Face up, feet towards, which is what you see here. Face down, feet towards, which is what you see here. And then there is face up positions, which are face up, head towards right here, and face down, head towards right here. Each one of these positions has different options on how to get up. But the same philosophy applies, which is, when you are down in this game, you cannot be juggled. So, worst case scenario when you get knocked down is to be re-juggled for a full combo. When you get knocked down, you have to remember that when you're in this down state, there's nothing the opponent can do to you that will relaunch you. So basically, you can lay here and eat hits, and the worst case scenario, generally speaking, is like a stomp type of move, like Armor King's stomps. That type of a stomp is all you really have to worry about. And generally, they only take maximum like 24 damage. So that's a lot better than a 50 to 100 damage combo. So basically what I'm saying is the safest thing to do when you get knocked down by a hard knockdown is to stay down or side roll and stay down after a side roll by holding down, because the opponent cannot re-juggle you during these states. Once that happens and they hit you once on the ground, a Tech Roll is then available to you. Use that Tech Roll because it's a safe way to get off the ground. Now that is the safest thing to do off of a hard knockdown. The second safest thing to do is to just get up straight. Now, this is safe. That you can be relaunched from this position. They can float, and it is safer in the face-up, feet-towards position than it is, say, in this position, because the game considers you back-turned in this position. So, if you get up straight from here, you have to go through a back-turned animation. And what that means is, if your opponent hits you correctly with, say, Law's Junkyard, you will get a full back combo, and it is going to hurt. So, again, that is why there is potential to be launched and juggled when getting up straight off the ground. So that's why it's not quite as safe as just laying on the ground and needing a hit. Now, the third and the least safe of all your options to get off the ground is some type of attack. Get up 3s are low, get up 4s are mid. You can do the toe kick, which is down +4 in the face up feet towards position. You can do all kinds of different options. Back roll, cross chops. I mean, there's tons. There's tons of different things you could do that are attacks off of the ground. Now, these again are the least of the most unsafe of all your options when you're getting off the ground. And the reason for this is not only are you taking the same amount of risk that you do when you're getting up straight, because you can still be floated before the attacks hit, you can be counter hit, you can be hop kicked, you can be floated off of a back roll. Also, on top of all those things, these things could whiff, and they could also be low parried, they could be sidestepped, they could be sidewalked, and all these things are bad, bad things that could happen. So basically, you're adding layers onto your options. Your initial option is staying on the ground and taking one hit in order to have access to the tech roll to get up off the ground. Secondarily, you have just getting up off the ground straight, and this is riskier than laying on the ground, but it is still your second safest bet next to tech rolling. You can get floated, and there are situations where your opponent sets you up so that they want you to get up like that. And again, this is my reasoning for saying that staying on the ground is the safest. And then the third safest, which is actually not very safe, is any of your attacking options. Anything that gets up with an attack, because they can be predicted, they can whiff, and they are the most difficult thing to use. You need the most experience to use moves that attack off the ground. Before I go, I want to emphasize that though there are a lot of different ways to get off the ground in this game, and some of them seem very useless, like back roll cross chops, or toe kicks, or any of the really weird, underused types of ways to get off the ground, they seem like they're useless. However, the more you play the game, and the more you understand how it feels to be in the knockdown position, the more you'll learn how to use all these different attacks. And you'll know what to punish failed okizeme with. So I don't want people to think that, oh, Eris is telling me to always lay on the ground and always, take a hit and then get up. What I'm saying is, right now, at the beginner's level, you should just play it safe. But the more you play, you'll start to sniff out those moments where you can back roll, or you can, forward roll even. Sometimes I'm knocked down, I'll just get up and forward roll into a giant swing. And, that's a great option sometimes. So, the moral of the story here is, Tekken gives you all these options, but in order to know how to use the more obscure and risky ones, you just need to get mileage on the game and get knocked down over and over. The more you get knocked down, the better you're going to be at getting up off the ground. And again, I just think it's really important to remember that the worst case scenario is to be juggled. You don't want to be re-juggled when you've been knocked down. So just remember that when you've been knocked down, and you should be pretty good to go. Unfortunately, I don't have the capability of doing all the examples of all the different ways to get knocked down, but hopefully this at least helped you out with how to think and what philosophy to have when you get knocked down. Anyway, you guys know the drill. Please make sure you rate, subscribe, and comment, and I will catch you guys later. Take it easy.